Good morning. Welcome to Mid Morning Medium Chat with Adam the Black Swamp Medium. Thank you so much for being here. And it is great. So, just a quick little update. Well, there's a bunch of updates, but um, there's a good chance I might have no clue who's commenting because I am broadcasting in addition to my Facebook page and my YouTube page. I'm also broadcasting to the Intuitive Souls Tribe. So, any of you that are watching, thank you so much for joining me this morning. We're kicking off the third, as far as I remember, should be three, the third Thrive with the Tribe event. It's a private group that I belong to. I'm actually one of the admins that is usually typically super quiet in the background. And um, so, unfortunately, there is an excellent chance because I'm broadcasting to a private group, it's going to block everybody that's commenting to me. So, if you are part of the Intuitive Souls Tribe, there's a good chance I won't see your names because if you could see what I'm seeing right now, it just says Facebook user. So, uh, if by chance I don't like call you out specifically, then just bear with me because I can't see it. So like I said, there's people that are, liking my normal page I can see their names now popping up. So if by chance anybody in the tribe that reaches out and I don't know who you are, it's not on purpose. So if I don't say hi specifically or hi whoever you are, just know that that's the case. It's probably too late for you guys to jump off. Go to the StreamYard Facebook page. You have to like grant access to have your name and your name appear to me. But if you really want me to know who you are, you can just say your name in the comments and then ask your question or comment or whatever. So I just wanted to point that out real quickly. So anybody in the Intuitive Souls Tribe, welcome. Thank you for joining me. And yeah, let's have some fun. I noticed that some of the unless you click on my show, I changed the details up a little bit. Unfortunately, it looks like when I shared it over to the Intuitive Tribe, a lot of the details just were like the old stuff that I had the previous week. So I may have to just bring up what we're talking about. But one second, let me back up a little bit because I seen there was a few people. So actually, I can show you what it looks like when if you don't have never granted StreamYard access to show your name. This is what it looks like to me. So I have no idea who Facebook user is. So, like I said, if I don't call you out specifically and say, "Hey, such and such," this is why because it's coming up that way. So, um, so it's good morning to all of you. Okay. So anyway, good morning to my father. Good morning, Tina. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Carmen. Hello, Carrie Ann, Chris, Jeff. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much. Uh, uh, anyway, so again, there's times I'm not going to see who you got. What some of you are saying is like, here's another classic. I don't know who this is. So because it only comes up right there, Facebook user. So forgive me, but that's a thing because of the private group thing. So just ignore that. So, oh, okay. Hello, Cami. Brian. Okay, cool, cool. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So yeah. So I probably won't memorize it just because it's gonna shoot by and things like that. But so again, I'm not trying to be you mean or something like that because like, I have friends like my friend Jeff. See, I can see his name clearly, but that's because he's liked my page before and things. So anyway, hey, it's Crowbirds. Okay, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Good morning, Margaret. So I'm not going to dive. So there's a lot to talk about, but unfortunately, I mentioned it in the details. I'm not going to talk about everything that's gone on because I have a lot of my fellow tribe members joining us today. I wanted to kind of keep this more of uh, a really set topic show for them specifically, and to everybody else, of course. I wouldn't do this if it wasn't for everybody. But I just wanted to. Um, uh, I wanted to keep it a little bit more specific. I'm not going to dive too much in. What I'm going to do is um, I'll give you a super, super brief with not a lot of details about myself and how I've been, and then the actual details of what went on and what I was going through. I'm going to bring it up next weekend because it'll be a perfect time to do that. Um, so like I said, other than that, obviously you can tell I'm back. I took another week off, or I said I came back a week or two, and then I was off off last weekend because I was not feeling well. There was multiple reasons. Some of it I did post about, at least one of them I posted about, and then there was in addition to things that was going on at the same time, and it was more than just overwhelming. It was just one of those things. And like I said, I will get into the specifics on that next weekend because I think it'll make more sense then. But anyway, yeah, I'm doing okay. Cool. So you could tell the tribe's advice about that now. I mean, like I said, I, I mean, I guess I don't know. I like I said, it's kind of one of those things I'm kind of weighing in. But I mean, the thing. So most of you, the tribe members that probably haven't seen my name pop up. Typically, you see my regular name, Adam Wislick, show up, and you usually don't see the Adam the Black Swamp Medium. Uh, but I'm usually reading through a lot of the posts that are coming up, at least as long as the algorithm doesn't affect me too much. But a lot of times I do get to see a lot of the comments that are going on, or people that are asking for healings and things like that. And I usually always try to throw that care emoji out there to whoever is asking for it or whoever needs it. So I like I said, I'm kind of quiet in the background, so I have to give props to Candace, Christine, and Deb DeRoos, for holding that down. I feel bad that I say it all the time that I'm not I haven't been the best admin for the group, but I still appreciate that they still allow me to still be classified as an admin for the group. Hey, Rhonda. And so so it still means a lot because it is a really cool page. There's a lot of great things that do happen there. So I mean, if any of you are interested, you can go over to the Intuitive Souls page. It is private, so you do have to get accepted in. But most of the time, it's like most private groups and things, you gotta keep let's not go off the rails. Let's keep it serious. Let's not pick on people, and that sort of basis, which is pretty common. And probably the best thing for us anyway, because we all want to lift each other up. We want to be positive, and that is the key to things. So obviously it's a really great page, and I like I said, I feel bad that I don't do more over there, and one of these days I'll get my stuff together and try to contribute a little bit more. But sometimes I do it more on my page just because it's right there in front of me, and so I just bang away at the keyboard or type it on my phone and put up a message and things. And maybe I'll have to ask the others. uh Maybe I'll just start sharing my Black Swamp Medium stuff over to the Intuitive page, and and then that way it's easier. I just hit one share button and then they get to see it all. So I don't have to retype it or whatever. So I don't know. I'll see. I'll go with that on and play with it then. But yeah, so like I said, I am doing a lot better. It wasn't until about Monday, which we all had Labor Day, so hopefully everybody had a great Labor Day this past week. Labor Day finally seemed to break the downward spiral that it was happening. And so ever since then. But then it was interesting on Thursday. We had the calendar date 9/9. Now, for those that have been following me for a while and watching my pages, good morning, Jen. And in fact, I know Carmen is watching. She was the one that actually reached out to me. Hey, good morning, Melody. uh Carmen was checking in on me because a lot of you were hitting me up privately as well, and so I appreciate everybody's love and support, and all the well wishes, and hoping I get back on my feet again. Hey, Julie. And so Carmen just happened to reach me out Thursday morning. It was just like, hey, because I haven't spoke to her in days, and it's like, how you doing? And I told, well, I said, actually, it's kind of weird was, and this is cool because like this will be a neat little segue sort of thing. And I'd love to hear other people's comments about this. So Thursday, I woke up, I was okay for the first like half an hour, and I wake up real early. I still have a day job. Most people know that and stuff. And I wake up, and it was kind of crazy was I my stomach started to turn, and it wasn't to the level of being sick. And we all know if our tummies get a little out of whack, we kind of know there's a little venture that we're gonna have to go to another room in the in the home or wherever you're at if your tummy's doing something it's not supposed to do. And it never got to that level, but it was just weird all day. Hey, Dave, good to see you, buddy. Hey, Rodney. And it was just weird. It was all day long. And so, hey, Jen, sorry I missed you last night. And hopefully you guys had a good time. Uh, La so, I had this weird thing. It was, pretty much all day long, and I was scared to eat. I was because I thought, well, it'd take just one thing for my stomach to, you know, drink this or eat that, and it just like, boom, my stomach would be a wreck, and then I'd be taking that little stroll. And so I, I just, couldn't, figure it out, like I said, she reached out to me, like, in the afternoon or something like that, and I, she said something to the effect, and again, I'm horrible, and that's why I've said it many times. And my other friend, Jennifer Passavant's, listening and watching. I always I have my astrology gurus that I try to reach out to and be like, okay, what's going on? Because half the time I have no idea. I always miss it. And again, I love it. I love astrology. I just haven't been able to have the time to sit and follow it and keep tabs on events. So I think that's what's great is why we're all connected to certain things, and that's why we have friends, we have tribe members and things that we can all just kind of look and reach out to and um, ask them, hey, what's going on? I'm kind of this is going on. Is there anything in the star, so to speak, that's triggering this? And sure enough, Carmen hit me up and she just reply after I replied back. I'm like, I got this issue, and she's like, well, you're not the only one, you know and she said that, well, because we're in a 9-9 as far as the date goes. And I'm like, oh gosh. And so immediately, as soon as she said 9/9, I went, another star issue. And I'm like, and some of the tribe members don't know this, but a lot of you do, and I've talked about it. I always talk about it because when it comes up, I'm like, you know, I am horrible when it comes to, um, I, for the obviously that my journey has been pretty cool, and some of you know it, some of you don't. And when when I've had I've used to follow, like I would keep tracks, and like somebody just wrote, Mercury in retrograde, okay, so and it's going till the 18th. Yeah, great. So see, another thing. See, I used to try to follow that stuff and keep tracks. I even used to put it in my calendar just so I knew it was coming up. And now I got Canada calling me for some reason. That's odd. um, but I would try to keep tabs on these things. And then I wanted to, for the first time, and I think it was in 2020, in fact, great year to do that. But I chose that, going into January, not knowing everything else that was going to happen. But I was specifically going to ignore, all the astrology things. Good morning, Jill. Oh, thank you. And it was weird because in some way, and it's a healthy way to sort of reach out, sort of test things, not that I'm a disbeliever in any of that, but to test some theories to just see, and that was one of those things I said I was going to go into 2020 not paying attention to any of the star stuff, just like ignoring it and seeing what would happen as an outcome. You know, if I ignore it and, maybe even be a little harsh on it, be a little skeptical on it, again, in a good, positive way. But I was going to try not to pay attention to it and see what would happen. Now, obviously, 2020 kind of went all over the place. We knew that for many reasons, but there was also so many astrological events that happened last year at the same time, which is also interesting that it kind of all correlated together. But here it is. We had, a major pandemic on our hands. And then we have some other major astrological events that just, and I think there's a lot of you, especially some of the tribe members and things, and a lot of my other friends that I can see your names, uh, know. that we all went through weird phases. We all had issues, and a lot of it had to do with the star, so to speak, but also a lot of the pandemic and things like that. But it really, truly, was a. I mean, looking back, I'm happy, but at the same time, there was a lot of lost time. There was a lot of things that just wasn't feeling great for stretches and things like that, and just didn't have the energy. And so doing the mediumship and healing that I do, it's hard when you try to you can't have readings, you can't send healing and stuff like that. And when you're down. And there was a lot of things that, kind of popped in on that, which was, us regrouping, those of us that do the healing, that are providing messages and things like that. Yeah, there you go. Yep. And so we uh we were in a big, you know, uh phase of where we were all getting kind of rested up. We were all getting healed and for ourselves. And so it was the first time that we, you know, most of us, at some point or all together, sometimes at the same time, we all were kind of under kind of in bed, so to speak. We're all kind of like under the blankets, and we're all nice and warm and toasty, and we've trying to take care of ourselves. And some of it we didn't understand, some of it we did, and then there was much that we learned because of it. So it's been a neat journey, in some ways. Obviously there's a lot that has happened and unfortunate things, at the same time. And so, we don't I don't we don't take that lightly as well. But um, there was a lot that we all had to go through. So yeah, yeah, that's a great point. Hard to do both because you're negative and positive, kind of it's like batteries. Yeah, it is. That is so 100% true. And we are what we are, and I think, I've said it a lot. And usually, most people, like I said, there was a lot of, in addition to like what I was dealing with the last couple of weeks, that as I things got even worse on top of things that I was already dealing with, that it was just like, oh my gosh, anything else that I can drop on my plate. And obviously, when you look at it and the more you go through these things, you realize that it's all on purpose, which might seem like a negative thing, but it is kind of a way of slowing you down, or stopping you. Those of us that have, or believe our guides and angels, help us, move through life and things, and who we reach out to for support. And if you have a belief system, God, creator, or however you call your higher beings, or higher self, um, you know, it's all good. And however you get that information is wonderful. And, sometimes they will do certain things to make sure you are well aware of, if you're doing too much, they're going to shut you down. And, you know, I tend to push myself a lot, even though I have done better in recent years. Usually I'll overdo it and completely blow myself out for a week or two, to where I'm like shut down. I barely get enough to do my day job, and I come home and I'm basically passed out, and or I like that divine timing. Yeah. Yeah. Very sure. Yeah, very well, Margaret. And Rodney, is true. Yep. Sometimes it's hard to take care of yourself. And it is. Well, when, a lot of us that do what we do, whatever services we're providing, whether it's healing, giving messages, tarot, all that good stuff, astrology, readings, reading your numbers and things. It is a lot of work, and not a lot of people understand what it's like to do that. And when you do it, how much you end up, you get tired, and it's weird that you would think, well, I'm just kind of spitting out some words, or I'm flipping over a card, or I'm looking up, data, for your charts and things. And it's like, but they don't get it. And it's hard to explain what it's like to do this stuff. I mean, you're using energy much like, if you're doing yard work, or if you're working out and stuff, you get tired, you get physically tired. But imagine doing this work, and it's not so much on a physical level. I'm not saying there isn't some of it, but mentally you're putting a lot into it that's just unseen to the common person. Only the people that do this, we understand fully. And so it's neat to, talk to somebody like after an event, if you do a holistic event, or some type of event where there's all kinds of healers and things, and we're all doing our thing. and it's afterwards, then you got to pack up. So now you're already tired from doing readings for, could be anywhere from 5 to 7 to 8 hours of readings and or whatever you're doing, and then you got to pack up, but you just really want to just kick back in your chair and you know chug some water and just breathe for a moment, and then you're um packing up, and then you're going to drive home wherever it is, and and then you're just sitting there, like dead. You're dead to the world, and so uh you get home, and sometimes you're already propping yourself up in your favorite chair or couch, or you're maybe going right to bed, and that's just the case, and it's so mentally draining. I got I hear it. Yeah, and sometimes, it's just being kind of cooped up in a way, and not much to do. But so, you know, obviously we all need to do it. I mean, regardless if you do any type of holistic and metaphysical type of work, we all need to watch ourselves and know if you're doing too much. And yeah, there's times where you have to push yourself, and there's times where you need to back off. And again, doing what we all do, and especially like for me, like I said, I still have a day job because I still got to pay the bills, and I have a family. I got a wife and kids, and so young kids still. And you know, eh, I gotta spread my energy out across a lot of different avenues. So I really do this juggling act of everything where it talk about being tired. I mean, I call myself old, and I'm not. Everybody's like, oh, you're still pretty young and I'm stuff like that, but so don't let the white gray beard fool anybody, but I know I still got some years left in me, but you know, when you're juggling everything, and like I said, I have to do my day job, which, sometimes can be a lot, but with the pandemic and everything, it's kind of a little bit slow at times, more than it used to be. And you know, and then in between things, I'm trying to maybe reply to messages, or somebody's reaching out and they got some questions, so I'm trying to juggle all that. And then you come home and you're trying to rest, and sometimes you got to do readings, or you got to do a show, or you got to deal with family things and maybe do homework because the kids are in school again. So it is pretty, it can be really intense. All right, we got a question. What is the advice? What your advice? I feel coming back on board. I'm stuck in the physical. Oh, let's see. Well, the how much time. Now I'm not sure who that is because you can see I can only see Facebook user. So so if I don't know you, I apologize. Um if you're stuck in the physical, well, there is, well, classic. One thing to do is to get yourself more, connected mentally. Is just if you do you have a meditation routine? Do you have some downtime, alone time, to where you can sit there and mentally do like mentally slow your mind down. Um, if you're stuck in a physical, it means because that's all you're focused and your tunnel vision on, I got to do this, I got to do that. You're just constantly looking at one direction. You haven't opened up your vision enough. So meditation, whether you understand it, whether you know how to do it, or there's tons of videos. Just Cami, okay. Um, you can, like I said, there's YouTube videos that can help guide you through some stuff. I mean, there's some good ones out there, there's some bad ones out there. Obviously there's some people that are trying to have classes again, when it comes to just kind of finding yourself, and um, trying to find the best words. Be wary of energy. Well, yeah, Rhonda, we'll get there. But uh, the main thing is you've got to slow down. And that might be hard. Again, not knowing your daily routines and what you have to do in life, you need to find time to back away from a lot of that. And again, meditation is the other one. Or, and if meditation's not your thing, you can also kind of change the terminology. You can kind of do a self-reflection, where basically you just kind of like sit, close your eyes, and you just kind of think of a scene. Which, again, this kind of ties into meditation. And I've talked about this on my show in the past. You know, dedicate 5 minutes, 5 minutes of your day. And I know there's tons of people, and I get this question a lot, and I talk about it a lot because it just keeps coming up. But everybody always, well, and granted, now is a little weird because of the pandemic and stuff like that being, going into our we're in our second, well, year and a half into it type of thing. But everybody used to always say, well, I don't have the time. Well, I'm saying, don't you have 5 minutes? Ooh, but you can't make excuses. If you really want to get out of that physically being stuck, you have to create the time, whether you like it or not. You know, you got to do it. So what I would do is find 5 minutes. You know what I mean? And if you need to, as weird as this may sound, and I give a couple other ones too, but as weird as it may be, let's say you get home, whether you have family or if you live by yourself, doesn't matter, and you need that moment of just you to where you feel like you're not going to be bothered, go to the bathroom, put the lids down, sit on the pot, close your eyes. It might be weird, but if you think about it, mentally, you're closing the door, so you've kind of committed to having that private moment. Like I said, I know this is weird, but you can't use that as a weird thing, or a weird but like I said, we all know we go to the bathroom, we close the doors, we do our stuff, and then we get out of there. So, but do that. Go in there, close the door, and if you need to, maybe take your phone with you, maybe just put some, light, soft music, just something that doesn't have vocals, but just as instruments. There's tons of that stuff out there. I play relaxation music myself, so I could plug my stuff if you're interested. And but just play that and just sit there for 5 whole minutes. Pretend you're doing your stuff in there, but just sit there, close your eyes, just sit on the stuff. Yeah, right, boo. Right, Jeff. Hey, Nicole. But sit there, close your eyes, it's a comfy spot. Who hasn't sat there? you know, but just close your eyes. Don't worry about anything else and just breathe. Now I will take it a step further and say breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. That's the maximum amount of breathing technique that's perfect for meditation and self-reflection. Okay. And so just 5 minutes. And even if you need to, turn the song on, maybe the song, find a song that's maybe 5 minutes in length, again, nothing with vocals, and just sit there and try to eliminate anything that's going on in your life. Keep it real simple, keep it basic. If you need to, the easiest thing that I always suggest to people is picture yourself in like your favorite location. Now, I'm not talking like uh, um, in a store or something. I'm talking, let's go out and like find something in nature, because nature is a big thing for me because I do a lot of shamanic style work. But picture yourself at a local park, or make it up. It could be even a fictional, you know, area out in nature, or a beach or anything. But imagine you're sitting there and that's all you're doing is you're just observing like you were on vacation. So for that 5 minutes of that song, with your eyes shut, look at the location. Like me, look what's all behind me, Imagine if I was sitting there facing that direction. This is what would be in my third eye, my vision while I'm sitting there, daydreaming. Yeah, it's a good way to put it. And but just immerse yourself in that 5 minutes. Look at all the details, Look, there's the sun. Look at the trees over here. I mean, look at all this stuff going on. Oh, look at these, formations in the rocks. Look at this archway. Immerse yourself into the as much details in that location as you can. And when you do that, and you'll come out, after 5 minutes, open your eyes, take a couple deep breaths, slowly get up out of your seated position, and move on. Now, I wouldn't jump right into doing something real hardcore physical then, but ease back into your routine of whatever that is. But keep it simple. Now, the point is you make that 5 minutes to just disconnect. Now, I would love to even say right now before the weather gets any colder, for a lot of us that are in the regions that, we do get pretty, tempered, cold, and get outside. See if you can do your 5 minutes outside, maybe on your front porch, maybe on your back deck, maybe in the middle of your yard or something like that. Do 5 minutes in nature if you can, you know what I mean? That's even more intense. because now you can actually hear a lot of nature. Now, granted, I get it. We all live in certain places. We're going to probably hear cars. We're probably going to hear people and things like that. It happens. You know what I mean? But you're still going to have some nature. You're still going to hear some birds and things of that sort. But you might even hear the wind blowing through, and that's okay. That's what we're really trying to grab out of those things. Ignore the cars and the people and lawnmowers and all that stuff. Ignore that stuff, but just grab the things that you need out of there and just take it in. Now, even if you're sitting outside, sure, if you want to keep your eyes open for it, you can do that or close them. You know, leave it up to you. But the thing is, do it for yourself. You know what I mean? Whatever you feel is comfort, whatever you feel drawn to doing. Like if you're going to go outside and close your eyes, tear it up. But if you feel like, keeping your eyes open and just watching maybe the leaves, before they fall off, or maybe as they're turning colors now, and just watch it, be immersed into taking it. Look at the details of this stuff with your own eyes, but don't think of anything else. Focus on what's right there. Okay. There's been a ton of stuff. I've missed a lot. So hopefully that'll get you started. And, you can always reach out if you have any other cool things. Let's see. What did I miss so far? Yep. Let's see. So I'm just reading real quick. I'm just making sure. Yeah, a lot of great points. Some great ones. I love it. I love it. I see a lot of people doing some chakra work, and some people are sitting in their cars. That's another great thing. Like you come home from work, maybe you had a little stress. It's best to get rid of all that stress in your car than it is when you walk into the house, because that opens up a whole another door for a whole nother show. And I have to remember I have to be done at 10 o'clock sharp. So I got just 28 minutes left in the show. So I have to be out of here at 10. So there will be an abrupt stop. So but that's a great, whole nother show that we can dive into. But you don't want to you want to do everything you can not to take any type of negativity into your home. And again, that's a whole nother show that we can discuss some other time. But yeah, that's great. I think Jill was the one that said that, do that stuff outside. Do it in your car, whatever it is, but get rid of it outside before you walk in. Try to get yourself feeling better, because, oh my gosh, yeah, you don't want to take that stuff in there, because that's not a good idea. Um, let's see, connecting to the elements sometimes. Let's see. Yep. Yep. Hey, Laura, I said I didn't get to say goodbye. Rhonda was suggesting, salt baths are great. That's awesome. Well, yeah. And if you got a tub, you got a bath, or hey, you got a jacuzzi or something like that. There you go. Like I said, you can find the time in there, or if you got a swimming pool before the temperature's getting any cooler, go in the swimming pool, lay on a raft. You know what I mean? Don't make this complicated. Whatever you have at your, disposal, go for it. You know what I mean? Um, okay. All right. Yep. Hey, I'm right there with you. I'm not sure who it is, but I am right there with you. I am into that, baby. I do like myself. I mean, not because of the beard. Most of you, I never had a beard. I started growing this in 2018, for those that don't know, but I used to be mostly 5 o'clock shadow type of thing. Oh, good morning, Carrie Ann. And so, so the image shouldn't make it look like I just automatically heavy metal fan, but it's always, I mean, I love all genres. That's the thing is, but heavy metal, that sort of thing. I always go back to that, stuff quite often, because it's, I am a musician, as I kind of started stating earlier and stuff. So, I mean, I have appreciation for, everybody that, is out there performing in some way, and all the different genres. Cause like I said, if you, I've told people in the past, if you ever saw my true collection, and again, I still, still once in a while do it, even though I do a little bit more, downloads, but my CD collection, could, equate to, a small record store type of thing, if you want to call it that. Uh, I used to have thousands. Well, I still do technically. Some of them are just all boxed up, but I literally, I think I stopped counting after like 3 or 4 thousand CDs. So if that gives you any indication of how much music I enjoy and how much variations of and genres I listen to. So good stuff. Good stuff. So all right. So Anyway, but and that's another thing that's great because I love that question, how being stuck. And that opens up another key elements to that is that one thing I really wanted to touch on, before we get out of here at the top of the hour, is that, you know, if you're stuck like you are, there's also another thing that you need to do daily, and granted, I'm going to say it one way, but it's not to offend anybody. It's just an easier way to say that because pretty much everybody knows what it means. So I do it every day. I did it this morning outside, which is the best for me. Again, doing more shamanic stuff, we are connected to the earth and the energy from the earth, but saying a daily prayer. Now again, you could say it however you want. If you don't want to say prayer because you think it's more religious, that's fine. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit there and argue with you. But we all understand what prayer is, and so I like saying it that way. And I go out there and I have my thing, and I'm giving thanks and gratitude to all my guides and the creator and several other things that I keep private. And but that's also can be looked at besides all giving thanks for them watching over me, them protecting me. I also I'm setting intentions, and if you want to have a different word to it, affirmations. Okay. And that's a good thing to start a habit of. So if you are trying to get into things, or if you're just trying to be more relaxed, or if you really are you're struggling with things, you know throwing that stuff out there and obviously having the best intentions behind it. So if you're going to say, I want to win the lottery, that's kind of a greed thing. You know what I mean? As much as, I would love the numbers to fall in front of me and I play those numbers and, of course I win a large sum of money. Hooray. But that's a greed thing. That's not the same as trying to better yourself, trying to, if you're struggling with things, whatever the case is. I mean, the it's endless, but just say, hey, you know, put the intention out there saying, I really want to, I really want to overcome this. And you say it every day. When you wake, I usually do it when I wake up. It's the easiest time to do it, but you say it every day. You're putting you're setting that intention for the day. Hey, I need to, like, okay, here's a great thing because I've said this before. And I recently was dealing one of the things I was dealing with was major anxiety attacks. And so that's something that, it's, hey, I don't want this. I don't want any more anxiety. Show me the ways to overcome this, help me out. There's a lot of different wording in there, but I'm putting it out there that I'm serious. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I want to figure out what the root cause is and I want to overcome it. And I want to be able to live my life not having that, hang over me. And so that's done. You know what I mean? And so things like that, like maybe, you got physical issues, hey, start saying, I want my my kneel. I want my knee to heal. That's what I was doing. I was trying to combine kneel and heel, knee and heel together. So, but just something like that, it could be a physical thing saying, hey, I want to set the intention for my knee to heal. And every day, just keep wishing for it. You know what I mean? And I say wish, lightly, but at the same time, you have a serious moment. You're not kind of hoping it'll happen. No, you're going to be serious about it. You can't kind of, or you, and most people that follow me, a lot know that I have a bad word, and that bad word is try. I'm not a big fan of the word try. I slip up and still say it once in a while, but try it leaves room. Hey, Amanda, try leaves a door open for failure. And not that failure is bad, but if you are dead set on something, like setting your intention, boom, that's it. I'm not trying to set my intention. I want that intention to happen. And you mean it. Now, it could happen instantly or it could take some time, but that's okay. As long as you keep doing it. There is many things like the mediumship. I did not have the mediumship. This is, a quick little side story real fast, but I didn't have mediumship growing up, but I wanted it. I knew I needed it to help. It was my calling. So I learned how to do this and it's possible, but I set the intention every single day. and it took 2 years, but I had a lot of previous experience with, talking to spirits, my own spirits. I did a lot of things of that, so I had already a basis leading up to when that door opened up. So boom, there it was. I set my intention of saying I want to open that. I'm serious. I want to go down this road, this path. And 2 years I was doing readings. I was doing investigations because I do paranormal stuff as well. So, you know, it's the power of what you mean behind setting your intention or affirmation for it. So, um, let's see. Julie, yes, the other day, new moon intentions to find the best doctor. There you go. See, that's another great example. Like I said, you are serious about it. You're not kind of scooting around it. You're not, maybe it'll happen. Maybe it. You, no, you don't mess with this stuff like that. If you really want a change or you need the help, you do it. Plain and simple. There is no, hinting around and stuff like that. It just lasts longer and takes longer for it to heal. Just like, hey, I need to have surgery on this, that, or whatever. And, you know, at the same time, when I recover, I'm going to do whatever they say I need to do. I'm going to also be, praying or however you want to word it, that I get healed faster. I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to overdo it, but I'm going to keep praying. I'm going to ask some of my close friends that are healers, hey, send me some extra healing if you can, on this. Okay. That's how it works. And I mean it. And you know what? Almost every single time that when you're serious about it, it gets done. It gets done. Okay, there you go. Appreciate it because it's touching. I think alone will help me with my overload with family and big religions. That's awesome. Okay. Yep. And again, you got to do what's right for you. Do what you feel is right in these sort of situations and things. Don't feel embarrassed about it. You know, we've all got things that we can help each other with, and uh you know if prayer is your thing, or if you want to reword it to something that makes you that fit better, then go for it. But the what the outcome and what the intention is behind it is still important. So new moon got me and I missed my, well, but see, even then, don't feel bad. You know what I mean? You missed it, it is what it is. But don't think that you can't, just like today, you can make up for it. Don't just think, "Oh, I missed it and it's over and done with." You still can do it. You can still catch up. You know what I mean? Don't ever feel that you've lost it. Yeah, it might not have happened on that day. I mean, there's all kinds of events. We're not going to hit every single event um when we want to, because life happens, you know what I mean? So today, I'm not sure who it is. You can see I can only see Facebook user. Whoever you are, just do it. Find a few minutes today. You know what I mean? Or maybe when you get into bed tonight, you're getting ready to fall asleep. Close your eyes in bed, which is, by the way, another great meditation place for those that say they never have time to meditate. Doing meditation as you fall asleep is one of the best things in the entire world. And I'll explain that in 1 second because I'm down to 16 minutes left. But find a few minutes and do it. However you meditate for the new moon and stuff like that, or whatever your intentions you're setting, do it. There's nothing stopping you. You can still do it, just do it. But real quickly, because I'm not gonna, I can't I love talking about that. Um the Some people say, well, like I said earlier, I don't have time. Yeah, you do. No, you don't. Yeah, you do. Go to bed. And for those that have never done this, try it. And I guarantee it, if all of you, even those that have done this before, go to bed tonight, close your eyes, start meditating or start self-reflecting. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And I don't want you to think of anything. Maybe think of again, maybe think of a nature scene. Continue to do that until you fall asleep. Even if you're gonna, turn on your sides or however you like to lay in your positions, but continue to meditate however it is that you fall asleep. Fall asleep meditating. Because guess what? You're going to continue meditating until you wake up in the morning, which means how many hours was that? So I don't have enough time just turned into 6, 7, 8 hours of meditation. And guess what happens? Because you're in meditation, you have already dropped your brain activity down so low to getting in that dream state that you're going to sleep very, very well. And when you wake up in the morning, you're going to feel like $1,000,000. I've yet to have anybody that's has ever come back to me trying it. Well, and see, I said the bad word, doing it, that they woke up and said, "Man, I'm just tired." Other than the fact that they're tired because they slept so well that it just you've not experienced that before. So try it. Again, bad word. Do it. Do that tonight. Everybody. You know what I mean? Go to bed, close your eyes, meditate as you fall asleep. See how you feel like in the morning. Come over to my Adam the Black Swamp Medium page, send me a message, or come back to this broadcast and put it in the comments at the end. Let me know. Let me know how different you feel in the morning. Because I guarantee it's not going to be what you're expecting. You're going to have such an amazing sleep that it'll be interesting. Um, let's see what else we got. Yep. And I know a couple of you. All right, so I see a couple people taking off. Thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. Hope you guys have a great day. For those that are leaving, um, awesome, awesome, awesome. Yep, and Rhonda's making a good point. Well, we have to have our rest and things. We car will not run on a dead battery. So true. Let's see what else we got. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, and I guess there are so many things that we can do, and sometimes they're simple. We just don't think of them right away. And so these are some of the things I've learned over the years. The more I've gotten into this, and oh, my good friend, my best friend Jen, try to release that. If you genuinely need help and are feeling overwhelmed, it's not selfishly at all. It's all genuine in need. If you're asking when you don't actually need to, but you don't care for what you're taking the time and the energy of others needlessly, that would be selfish, but that's not who you are. So never feel guilty or selfish of seeking help when you need it. Mhm. All right, Dad, if you already left, it was good seeing you, buddy. Love you. Yep. Rhonda, perfect self care. Oh, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you checked it out this morning. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah, and Jill, that's where I'm at. I do the same thing. There's times where you you just do so much for others. And whether it's, in a metaphysical type of stuff, but just normal daily life, feeding the family or, dropping kids in and off of school or this, that, and, all the other stuff that we have to do to survive, going to the grocery store, whatever, you know, we do so much for others that we forget about ourselves. You know what I mean? And so it is so amazing to try to, again, bad word, do put the effort in to taking care of yourself. I mean, we all have to. I mean, yes, I have kids, so I have to do my thing. I got to watch out for my kids. They're not completely self-sufficient yet, but they're getting there. But you still have to do that. You still have to, make sure they're fed, make sure they're getting clean and, all that stuff. There's still things we have to do, but we have to spend all that energy there, but then back to take care of ourselves. So that way we can continue to do what we do. So, for me, if I drop out, it's a pretty darn good reason why I got to drop out for a little bit, whether I'm not posting like I did this week. I haven't posted a whole lot. And, I just didn't have it in me, and so I want to make sure that if I am saying things or I'm posting things or I'm going to do a show, I want to make sure I'm feeling good enough to do that. I don't want to come across and, you know, if I'm feeling horrible, you're not going to see this kind of face jumping around and smiling and giving you all the different emotions, behind what I'm speaking about. So, it is important, and I've done better. I still could do even more better than I do. But sometimes, it's meant to be. You're meant to be showed that you may be slowing down, but you didn't slow down enough. And so I'm sure that's what happened to me, the previous, week and a half, 2 weeks. And, I just wasn't doing enough. And I've been planning a lot of stuff in my head, and, it just kind of is a wake up call. And so here I am slowing down and recovering. So, uh, yeah, Carmen, we can always find things that seem more important than ourselves. Oh my gosh. I mean, how many times do we, you know, go help somebody, and, for me is I've done a pretty good job of, unfortunately postponing or canceling or, rescheduling, events. And I've had some great clients that are, understood, because I don't want to give less than 100%, you know what I mean? And, it's I just don't feel right doing it. I think it's doesn't do any good to not be able to, provide what, you're coming to me for. So I appreciate a lot of the people that have patience, whether it's for me or any of the other people that do this kind of work. Um, you know, understand, we're humans. We're not robots. And so, if we take some time off or we have to postpone something, no, it's always with the best intentions. We we don't want to do that, but at the same time, it is what it is. I mean, it's we have to take care, and if we don't, then we might just have to cancel out altogether and maybe never do this again. So I mean, and that would be horrible considering this is what a lot of us have passions doing. We believe in this, and it's not, a greed thing. It's not about this. We truly want to help. If it's small, if it's just me sending a message back to somebody, or, people just being like, "Oh my gosh, I never thought of trying this," and then now tonight or today, some of you are going to be going out there and doing that. That's it, you know what I mean? It's not, I don't need to charge for advice, you know what I mean? If it helps somebody out, I love it. If it helps you in whatever way, oh my gosh, that's the most beautiful thing I can do. So, uh, we always have the best intentions of what we do for our clients, and it's so, important that, yeah, we take care of ourselves, but at the same time, we wanna make sure that, we are well enough to help you. Okay. And I saw this one too. I get you. I get you on this. I'm not sure who you are, but, um, your hands are full. I talk about it occasionally, but my son is the youngest, and, of my 2 kids, and he's, autistic. So there's a whole different way of, helping him, you know? So I get it. I get it when there is things that, there's special needs of whatever it is they're dealing with, and, I totally understand that. And, so I totally feel for you. Um, let's see. Oh, you're so welcome. Well, you take care. Let's see. Yep. Jen's telling Jill. Yeah. Everybody, like it's Jen, my BFF Jen. She's helped me in so many ways. And so I'm throwing her out there even more right now. But, you know, uh, Jen's helped me out a lot, for a while. And so there's key people that have really said certain things. Carmen, I know, is in there too. She's another one that I reach out to. And, um, they're all amazing at what they do. They do wonderful things, and sometimes they just have the best advice for me on certain situations. And, um, then that's the thing, is I put trust out into them. And I never felt, I mean, I do still feel a little weird about it, but at the same time, it means a ton for me to put those, words out there. And Nicole, I've asked her, for some, help on things too. So, you know, you go with who you're connected with. If you feel connected with me or somebody else, and you feel a strong connection with them, you go for it. Ask them questions. If we're available, we'll certainly have chats with you, or there's a service, a reading or a healing that you can, will help you out. You know what I mean? That's what we're here for. And it's the same, in reverse. I used to be weird about asking other, healers and readers and things to help me, because I'm like, well, I can do it. Why can't I do myself? But Yeah, there's times where you kind of have to shift and you need to get that stuff back, So, um, so there's so many great people in the room that has done so much, to help me out, and um, I'm not afraid to ask as much anymore. you know, then I feel like I'm dumping too much on them too. So, all right, I got 4 minutes left, so I got to keep watching the clock even more. So, um, but I love them, like no other, and it's it just is so cool to have those people I can connect with that, and it doesn't mean that there's others in the room that I don't have conversations with and don't, you know, again, it's there's not a thing that it's just because there's a bond thing going on and there's just a stronger connection, whether we have past lives together, who knows, or however it works out. But it is so amazing that you can have that kind of connection. Like I said, you know, most people, they might want to go near me because I kind of got this weird, kind of crazy, image and thing. But I don't let image bother me. Like I said, it's what's inside, it's what their intentions are and how you feel when you're around them, and that's what's neat is, you know, I don't care what your background is, I don't care what you gotta if you wear weird things and dye your hair, that's you. That's what you feel comfortable with. Go for it. You know what I mean? Not that we're getting in that kind of subject, but I'm just saying, um, don't always think that the outside is going to dictate who that person is when it comes to what they can do for you. You know, um, there's so many things that just being around that person, you know, I'm always trying to be positive. So when people come and hang around me, I get attracted to the people that seemed a little down or depressed. And what I end up doing is I kind of get a little closer to them, not where I'm breaking the bubble space or the social distancing, but I get close enough to where I know my energy field's going to touch them a little bit to where they could use that little boost, that little jolt of positive, whatever it is. And you know what's interesting? It happens. Their attitude all of a sudden changes. And I'm not taking their stuff off of them. That's the important thing. I'm not absorbing their negative stuff. And I'm not saying it negative in a bad way. I'm just saying, they could be depressed. They got all kinds of situations. Who knows? But I'm the one that's just giving them a little bit just to kind of get them, change their little demeanor, just give them a little push, you know what I mean? And just to feel a little bit better. And then I try to talk a little bit and, slowly build up. And eventually my goal is to make them smile in the end. Usually works. And I love it. I just love that. I love when I can change somebody's feeling, and my day job, I do that a lot. I get a lot of upset people. My goal every time is to make them smile before I leave, the situation that was stressing them out, and I don't take their stuff with me. I leave it in the room on the floor. But I do walk out of there. So I got 1 minute left. So I got to hurry. Anyway, so I'm going to miss the last few comments and stuff like that. But thank you so much. Before I get out of here, again, thank you to all the intuitive. Yeah, so we got about 40 seconds. Thank you, all of the Intuitive Tribe members. Sorry if I didn't all know your names and things like that. I couldn't see them because they came up as Facebook users. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, for those tribe members that are curious and maybe want to see my show, continue, you guys can always just go over to my page, Adam the Black Swamp Medium, and just like it. And you guys can see my show usually every Saturday at 9:30 typically. I try to give you guys a little bit time to sleep in. So, but if you guys are ever curious, like my page and you can see the shows. And so I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much. I got 5 seconds left. So all my love and light to every single one of you. Have a fantastic weekend. And I will see you again. I'll have some posts coming out this week. So I will see you guys very soon. And with that said, I am out of here. So you guys have been watching Mid Morning Medium Chat with Adam the Black Swamp Medium. Until I see you again. Later.